Well, it's with great reverence. I just want to apologise. Elise sent me a message, basically about an hour ago, to say that sounds like she's got conjunctivitis, so it makes it a bit awkward for her to be on today's show. So she's actually asked Patrick if he would like to come next week. So we're going to have Patrick on next week, and Patrick's going to do some healing for Elise and for everybody else. We had a thought to play a previous show, but I happened to come back from my morning walk, and I thought this is going to be interesting with Patrick. It's going to be interesting to have a spiritual healer. And then all of a sudden, I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And then all of a sudden, inspiration, bolt of lightning. Zeus must have thrown it down. And I thought of David Pace. Now, David lives in Missouri, United States, right in the center of North America, I would suggest. And I happened to have the chance of meeting David in Bosnia. And we did a scientific conference there with a group of individuals who showed us all the different energy fields around the Bosnian Pyramid complex. So I reached out to David, and of course, it's what are you now, 6 o'clock or something in Missouri, isn't it? Is that you?
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
Thank you very much. So David's not only traveled to Bosnia, he's gone to Egypt, he's gone into, well, he's going to tell you the story. So life is energy, and with great reverence, David Pace, just to give our American viewers the opportunity that come from the land down under with the kangaroos in the background. So David, thank you very, very much for stepping in, and let's fly over the seat of our pants and see how we go. So where do you want to start with your whole journey of ley lines, long lines?
Well, Jeffrey, I guess I met you a couple of years back when we were both climbing the Bosnian Pyramids, and that was quite an ordeal. And we learned an awful lot there about energies and the energies that these pyramids gave off. And I certainly enjoyed the heck out of that whole episode of our life.
I appreciate that. So, I mean, this is only 20 minutes to get into this, put this together. So, of course, in Bosnia, I mean, people have unbelievable spoken since we've had our visit there of walking through the tunnels and the benefits of those tunnels. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you and I felt it. I mean, first 5 minutes I was in there, I was feeling the energies in those tunnels, and it was amazing. Just being in there, you'd come out, you feel all refreshed and energized, and I'm sure you felt the same way.
Well, one could actually walk in with a pair of shorts and you call them flip-flops, or you call them thongs or jandals? What do you?
Usually sandals or flip-flops.
Yeah. So you could actually walk through those tunnels and
Right.
with a t-shirt as well, and it was amazing, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It felt really very nice. So,
Yeah.
so because of that, I've been kind of on a journey to explore not only pyramids, but energy sites. Like I just came back from Egypt in March, and the energies that I felt in Egypt were amazingly strong. So from the very first night or day that I was there, looking out the balcony window of my hotel, I could see far off in the distance the Great Pyramids, and I could feel the energies coming off that far away. So they were miles or kilometers away, and it was so strong that I was having a hard time sleeping at night, and it wasn't from jet lag, it was just from feeling the energies there. And as we took the tour of a couple of weeks, and we went to different temples up along the Nile, different temples gave off various energies that were very strong, and I was quite amazed at how strong they were. As a matter of fact, one of them, I remember we had just finished coming out of one of the temples, and we were about a football field away, sitting in a bus, in a metal bus, and I was feeling overwhelmed with the energy that was being emitted from this temple. I could feel it all up in my third eye, all up in my head and everything else, and it was almost knocking me over. So I was quite impressed with the energy from Egypt.
Did you actually go inside those pyramids, or just walk on the outside of it?
Yeah, we did. We went inside the Great Pyramids. So we were lucky enough to have a 2-hour private session inside the Great Pyramid. And of course, you could feel the energies. It wasn't as strong on the inside as it was from the outside, I'd have to say. But yeah, so I asked our tour guide, who was a fabulous tour guide because he was born and raised there and could read the hieroglyphics right off the walls. And I asked him, I said, do you always feel this energy? He goes, yes. He says, something you just get used to. It's the only time he doesn't feel it is when him and his wife leave the country and go someplace else. So anyway, so in my exploration of energies and ley lines and exploring pyramid sites and stuff like that, I have over the years become a student of dowsing. And there is a person over here in the United States. His name is Raymond Grace. He's a master dowser. And he's kind of a country gentleman from either Kentucky or Tennessee, something like that. But the information that he has and how he teaches dowsing is just incredible. And so he not only teaches a way to find things with either L rods or a pendulum, but he also teaches how to manipulate energy. And it says anybody can do this. And it's quite interesting. So one of the things he does is he teaches us how to neutralize negative effects of energies. So what would be a negative effect of energies? Well, over here in the United States, I don't know if you have them over Australia or not, but we have what's called smart meters.
Oh, yeah, we do actually.
Smart meters, and a lot of people feel the negative energies coming off of smart meters because it's bouncing off energies, sending it not only through your house, but it's being read off of a telephone pole nearby so that they can read this. But it causes people to be sick. So what he teaches is just to take a pendulum. If you can see this, there you go. See a pendulum like this. And basically what you want to do is spin it counterclockwise. So it'd be counterclockwise from the top down, and start spinning it counterclockwise and repeat saying neutralize the negative effects from my smart meter.
Yeah.
And do that for a couple of minutes and let it go down. And then various people start saying, I can feel it. I can feel the difference. I start feeling better. And so I encourage people to try this because it's so simple. And you can measure the effects before and after. So before you can say, is this negative? If this energy is affecting me negatively, and you get a yes or a no. And then you can do the same afterwards and see if there's any change.
Yeah.
So what else could you use it for? Well, you could do negative effects of 5G radiation, like from cell phones and cell towers. You could do the same thing. Neutralize the negative effects of 5G. Neutralize the negative effects of coronavirus. I mean, it's worth a shot, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So there's all kinds of things of ways that through our intention, basically we're talking about intention here, that we can manipulate energies that will affect us negatively, and we can turn it into something more positive.
Mm.
So
you, when you come to your dowsing, I mean, you just use the crystal there. Can you use anything else?
Yeah, this is actually just metal, but it can be made out of anything. It can be made out of wood or pretty much a crystal or anything you want. And but the idea is that it's not so much the instrument itself; it's the intention that we're giving to it. So it's our intention that's creating the desired result.
Yeah, okay, got it. So what brought you into dowsing then, Dave?
Well, here locally, we had a dowsers group that I joined several years ago, and from there learned many different things. Most people start out with dowsing just trying to find things and locate things like water, and some people use it to find underground caves and whatnot. And then one thing left to another, and you learn from other people, and which is always the way.
Yeah.
And I mean, we learn from each other. And so came across Raymond Grace and just found this guy, and he's fabulous. He has a website, and I know you're going to ask me what it is, and I can't
That's okay.
remember.
You can carry on. I'll find it.
I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. So and his well, I'll go and look for it. Raymond Grace, is it .com? I'd say.
Yeah, RaymondGrace, probably.com.
No, no.
Yeah, so you can clear noxious energies, and you can clear noxious energies remotely. So what does that mean? That means you don't have to be in the spot where the noxious energy is to clear it. So you could be a mile away or 5 miles away, and you could do the same thing with the pendulum, spin it counterclockwise, and say, I want to clear the energy. And yes, you found it. That's the guy, Raymond Grace. He has free online videos that you can watch. And then he has videos that you can purchase. And he's just the most down-to-earth guy, but straightforward, straight shooter, and just fabulous.
All right.
Yep, Raymond Grace.
Okay.
You can also, he teaches you how to neutralize curses upon you or wherever you live. So you could try that. And neutralize all self-sabotage programs or self-hate or curses on yourself, doing the same techniques.
Right. Do most dowsers, are they checking out the property itself, where you live, or your apartment, or even?
Well, yeah, some people do because you can have underground noxious energies, right? That we know of. Sometimes people will use L rods to find noxious energies might be under their house or under a particular bedroom. And they're getting sick, they're coming down with diseases, and they locate those areas in their house or in their bed. And it might be one particular corner of their bedroom. And once they find out where this noxious energy is coming out, then they can either move the bed from that area to a different part of the room, or they can try different techniques to try and eliminate or move those noxious energies away from the house. So it's quite interesting. It's just you can't limit your mind as to the things that you're able to do.
So when you're talking about L rods, you're talking about how they go long, and then they've got that handle there. So
right. There's two of them, and you hold them, and then they'll usually cross when if you're walking out along the yard. They'll cross if you get over, say, a water stream that you're looking for water, and or other things that you might be looking for.
Sure. Do you use your pendulum for health diagnosis?
Yes, you can use it for health diagnosis. A lot of it's just asking questions. Usually yes, no questions. And so you can use it for health diagnosis, but you can also use it for, is this piece of fruit beneficial for me?
Sure.
Is this go to the grocery store and it looks kind of ridiculous. You're sitting here with a pendulum, but is this the proper piece of fruit or vegetable that is good for me, or is it not? And it'll tell you right away, and so you don't even have to purchase it. So I use it all the time. I use it for just about everything. So I usually have to end up few around the house, one in the car, one in the pocket, depending on where you're going. And then if you can also ask it, is this person telling the truth?
Yeah, hearing you.
Especially when you just meet somebody and they're making outrageous claims, like maybe me. You can get out your pendulum and you'd say, okay, is this person telling the truth or not? Yes or no?
Well, after last Wednesday's show with our Judith Collins, who can read auras,
right.
Walls, she can tell you whether or not you're telling a lot of baloney.
Right. So when you're first starting out, you got to figure out what is your yes and what is your no. So everybody starts out differently. Some people, like me, I have my yes is back and forth, away from me and to me is my yes, and the opposite way, crossways, would be my no.
Yeah.
Other people use a circle. So all you're doing is programming. You're not programming the pendulum. You're programming yourself, saying that I want this this direction to be my yes, and this direction to be my no.
Yeah.
So now, how do you test that? Well, you could test that by saying my name is Sally, which is not. So I'm going to get a no for my name's Sally, and my name is David. You're going to get a yes for my name is David. So it's that simple, and anybody can try it. And it doesn't have to be a pendulum. You can make a pendulum out of pretty much anything. You can make a pendulum out of a string and a nut or a bolt tied to the end of it, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I encourage people to try it.
I remember years and years ago, people having a pendulum, and they laid out a huge big map, and they were asking about where they're going to move to find a property.
Right.
And they were running their pendulum over the large, coordinates of a property of real estate, and then checking it out that way.
Right. It's called map dowsing, where you just get out a map and put it down on a flat surface like a table. One hand will have the pendulum, the other hand might have a pencil. So you could use the pencil to go along the map and ask questions like, is this a good spot for me to buy this piece of property? Or is this where I might find water? Or is this might be where I'm looking for an underground cave? And as you get over the top of the proper spot, then you'll get a yes or no. And so I know people that are very good at that. I know this one old guy who used to go looking for caves all the time, and he got very good results map dowsing.
We got this question here.
You have to read it to me. I can't see it.
Why does the pendulum work? Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a good question. So it's not the pendulum. It's you. So it doesn't make any difference what kind of pendulum you have. If you buy one, if you make your own, it is actually you. It is your higher self coming through and talking to you through the pendulum and giving you the answer. So it's like a higher spiritual self of you.
Your body's acting as an antenna, and it's just the physical pendulum that's revealing to you in a conscious way. Is that it?
Right. It's just the micro comes through the micro movements of your arm or your hand, and it influences the movement of the pendulum.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you obviously if you've got a car in your car and on your body, you obviously use it on a number of occasions then.
Well, right. I mean, you can use it for anything, anything yes or no, to find solutions to certain problems. Of course, it will not work for the lottery numbers, so so don't try it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, okay, I've lost my keys. What room in the house are they? Are they in the house? Are they in the basement? Are they in the attic? Uh, my tires are starting to go bald. Do I have a few more miles left in them? How many miles do I have left in my tires before I need to replace them? All kinds of things that you can think of.
All right.
Right.
When you is this if you're looking for a job or you're going for a job interview and you can say, is this the
Job interview? Exactly. Is this job interview the one I need to go on? Or how about dating? Is this the person that I should be dating? Or should I continue to look after someone else? So there's a number of ways you could go with it.
Yeah, well, you have to have the benefit of knowing what question to ask, I suppose.
Right. So it's real important to ask the right questions and be very specific when you're dowsing, because you can fool yourself and fool the answer you're going to get. For instance, if I'm standing over this corner of the room and you're standing over in that corner of the room, and I say, how many feet are between me and you? And I get 2. That's because I'm not getting specific enough. I'm getting 2 feet, which are my 2 feet. Okay, so I got to be really specific in the question that you ask. What is the distance between me and you in this room?
Sure.
You're going to get a different answer.
And I suppose if you're going to buy a property, you want to find out whether there's any bodies on that property.
So I had this old physicist that I met, and when he's told me the story about when he was a kid, he learned dowsing, went out in his backyard. He lived in the countryside, and he had a couple of L rods, and he said, I want to find me a pot of gold. And he started walking, and didn't take very long, and his 2 L rods crossed, and he got out a little shovel, started digging, and he found buried a jar full of gold coins that somebody put there.
Yeah.
So he found his pot of gold.
Well, what I mean, the question would be, what perception did he have to actually go and ask for a pot of gold? I mean,
well,
it's another story in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's another story in itself. But yeah, he was quite the character and very intuitive. But he had asked the right question. So.
Oh, he had some inside trading knowledge.
He had some insight. So I mean, it still gets back to it's all about energy. We are all about energy. Everything's made of energy, and we can manipulate energy if we just are open to it. We keep our ideas and our mind open. The mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open.
True. Hey, behind you, you've got the wall there, and you have that wall stud finder where if you got your dry wall up and you wanted to go in and put a new electric plug in there, or you want to put an internet cable through, if you haven't got a stud finder, you could probably use your pendulum, couldn't you?
Yeah, I guess you could, and you could point with a pencil or your finger and say, am I close? Or is there a stud here?
Yeah.
And as you get close, then you're going to find it. Right. So, yeah, I agree with that.
So animals, they're sentient beings. I mean, have you used the L rods to go and just check the health of the animal?
Now, I have not done that, so no, I can't say I've had any experience on animals. I'm not. Uh, I have not tried that.
I suppose you would go in with an L rod and then to pick out with the particular cow out of the herd, and then once you got to that particular cow, you pull out your pendulum and then just be localized, then, wouldn't it?
Right, right, and then you could get out specifics and and say, okay, does this cow have problem in the liver or the one of the stomachs or this or that if they have a particular problem, right?
Yeah, well, the latest Yellowstone TV series is the Dutton Ranch with Rip and Buddy. That, and they brought a new bull, and it's got bloody tuberculosis in it. TB.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that
Oh
program.
right. No, okay. That's the only reason I brought it up. I thought you could check out your lifestyle.
So have you
Um,
have you tried any dowsing yourself?
Years ago, I used to sit in a group, meditative group. It was more about forensic. We had a doctor of uh, arts, and she had a panache for bloody unsolved cold case disappearances and murders. So she would come along and give us maps and say, is there a particular person that we're looking for in this region? So are we looking for bodies or are they alive or so forth? Anyway, that was pretty entertaining. But then she decided to change it up, and she gave a floor plan of her house. Yeah, and
Right.
she said, "I've gone and hidden this particular object." Yeah, and said,
Hmm.
"Show us a photo of it." Now
Right.
it's like, did the murder Mr. Peacock or Mr. Green or the Reverend? That.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. Who done it?
yeah, who done it? Yeah, so we had to go and get into our own space, use the pendulum to find out where that piece was hidden in the house. So that was really interesting. Like you can get really close, and you pick the room, but sometimes you skewed off as to whereabouts in the room, but you had the room. So
Right. Right. It's like anything else. It takes practice, and you get better at it as it goes along.
true. Yeah, very much so. Um, okay, so you've done Egypt, yeah.
I've done Egypt, so I've always had this fascination with pyramids, and so Egypt was on the bucket list, and I never thought I'd get a chance, but I finally did. So that was in March of this year, and then a couple of years before that, I went to Bosnia, where I met you,
Yeah.
and then I have been to down in Mexico, one of the big pyramids. I've been to Teotihuacan, which was there's three really large pyramids down there, and then I climbed up those, and then down in the Yucatan of Mexico, Chichen Itza. I went down there and was able to climb those. That's back when they still allowed you to climb them. I did not feel any energies coming off of Chichen Itza. I did not feel any energies coming off of Teotihuacan. But Bosnia, I did, and of course Egypt. Lots of energies in Egypt. Egypt was the strongest of all of them.
Bosnia. Let's get Bosnia up.
Yeah, Bosnia was a lot of fun, and the people were very warm and friendly, and no problems as far as feeling like you were unsafe. I always felt safe there, and great food, great people. So I would definitely recommend Bosnia. It's probably a lot cheaper to go to Bosnia than Egypt now, but also felt safe in Egypt, and didn't have any problems with anybody, any of the locals or at all.
Yeah, considering Bosnia had the Balkans War there, isn't it, between Serbia and
Right.
Croatia?
Right. Yeah.
Bosnia.
Right. I remember seeing leftover remnants of bullet holes in some of the residential areas in Visoko and also in Sarajevo. When I spent the night in Sarajevo, and I could see remnants of bullet holes in the side of buildings and stuff.
I remember one part of at the back of the major pyramid there, they had beware of landmines.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So they hadn't cleared them all out yet.
Yeah. So it's around the back of here.
Right. Yeah, I remember walking up there. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any photos of the tunnels in there. Anyway, okay, so okay, you did something else quite remarkable the other day, or a couple of months ago. You went up to Montana, didn't you?
So last year I went to Montana and saw the Montana megaliths, and I was quite impressed. I had met a couple of people who had been there before. Actually, when I was in Bosnia with you, I met a couple of people who had been there. So they told me the lady's name and her website. Her name is Julie Ryder. And she created this website on the Montana megaliths. And it was fabulous. I mean, giant stone structures, man-made structures that what obviously had been manipulated and were thousands of years old. Since I'm on my phone here, I don't have access. There's one of the pictures right there. So that is pink granite that's inside those other granite pieces, and pink granite is not local to that area. So someone built that, maneuvered those giant megaton structures, and who knows how long it's been there. And she gave an excellent several-day presentation and brought us around to all the sites and stuff like that. And it was fascinating, just fascinating. And I never realized that they had these megalithic structures in Montana or any other place in the United States.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah, it's so she and she's very intuitive, Julie Ryder. In matter of fact, that's how she found a lot of these areas, that these structures that nobody else could, is because she's intuitive. She can remote view, and she can find these areas. And so she's finding huge dolmens and other types of structures. And they've done underground satellite scans of the areas, and they have found underground structures underneath some of these areas, similar to what the Italians have been finding lately under the Giza pyramids, only they haven't released any of those pictures yet. So I'm waiting to hear the latest from when that's all released.
Yeah.
It's quite exciting. I can't say I did not feel any energies when I was there, but I was excited to visually see all the structures for myself.
Yeah.
And not just read it on someone else's site.
Yeah. Very good. So what, you spent a week there, or just?
Yeah, I spent a week there along with another group, and we stayed at a private ranch and then would get up, eat breakfast, hop in a couple of vans, and then go to the sites. And then they would give us a tour, and she would explain different things. And fascinating. And matter of fact, there's a giant stone wall. I don't know how long it is, called the Sage Wall. Now, I couldn't go to that because that's on private property. I had planned to go to see that, but the one and only day that I had available to me to go, they weren't open that day. So I didn't make it to the Sage Wall, but that's something else you or the viewers could look up, the Sage Wall, and fascinating, just fascinating. I mean, it's a colossal stone structured wall that, I mean, how does somebody build these things? They didn't have cranes back then.
Yeah. Oh, this. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julie Ryder. She's become a good friend.
Reminds me of the story of our Gosford glyphs.
Right. The Gosford glyphs, as a matter of fact. So those Egyptian glyphs, the tour guide that we had over in Egypt, Mohammed Ibrahim, is the guy who deciphered those Gosford glyphs. And he says they're real and that they were made by Egyptians. And he even knows that they were the later dynasty Egyptians and not the early dynasty Egyptians, because they have certain glyphs that were only made later on that the early dynastic or pre-dynastic Egyptians didn't make. So he knows even how to date them. So he says they're real.
Yeah.
Now you've been there, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I would love to go there.
Yeah.
You need to get me a plane ticket.
I'm hearing you. Yeah.
I guess Vicki Burke, she's one of your local experts on the Gosford glyphs.
Yeah.
You have to get her on sometime.
I think so. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. But so just need to inform people. Okay, so I'll just come out of that. Let's go to Gosford. Yes. So, are you familiar with the story?
Tell me.
Oh, hang on a second. I'll just bring this up. Okay, so we'll just bring up the map of Australia, so let people know where we're at. So here's we're down in Sydney here. So it's the north of Sydney. We're going up to the Central Coast, and it's placed in the national park there. Yeah, carry on there. There's carry on there. So it's literally here. So anyway, the story goes that the pharaoh had two sons. And one was the military general, and one was the priest in training. He was the younger one. And the Egyptians had a relationship with the Australian Aborigines. There's a guy called Stephen Spencer, an Australian guy, and they talk about the relationship between the Aborigines and the Egyptians. But there's a lot of areas of Australia here that's got Egyptian artifacts. Anyway, so the story is the pharaoh sends off his military son ship to Australia to catch up with the Aborigines and get involved with their spiritual components. Anyway, halfway through the journey, and more than halfway, the second son, who's a priest in training, pops up and says, "Hey, I'm coming with you, bro," Well, then the first son realized, oh my God, I can't turn the ship around and go back home. And we're committed. So he brings his brother there. They end up coming into this part of the world, and of course they haven't got the roads that we got today, so they have to go cut their way through the bush and all that stuff. Anyway, what transpired was the young son got bitten by a snake, and of course we got some deadly snakes here, so he died. And so the story that's been put in stone there is to show the time of the story I've just spoke to you about, but the time of his passing.
Mm.
So it's been set that what do you call it? If you're in no space, no time, you could actually, once you know the time frame of a particular person's passing, if you got the ability for time travel, you could actually go back with the antidote and buddy save the young son. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, the Egyptians were into the afterlife, and
Absolutely.
yeah, so.
They were definitely into time travel, and they were into portal technology. Matter of fact, I was shown on the glyphs several different portals, stargates, all kinds of stuff right on the walls. We were all shown.
Well, did you ever watch a TV series called Stargate SG-1?
Sure. Sure.
They actually played with that, where they had the puddle jumper that went back in the time to get the ZPM. Anyway, the bottom line was they got stranded there, and they wanted to do a rebellion against Ra, but they actually met. The future selves came and met their past selves had gone on the mission beforehand. And they had to go and say where you could find the actual ZPM. And so they actually recorded on the camcorder, and they put it into the Cyrus jar.
Mm-hmm.
And now we jump back into our present time, and we've got Daniel Jackson and Samantha Carter living completely different lives. And then next second, Cheyenne Mountains asked them to come and explain who they are. And it's all about the fact that Daniel Jackson goes into quite a repertoire of the ability of the Stargate and how they opened it up. And Sam Carter does her stuff. And then Colonel O'Neill just says, college football Saturday, professional pro ball Sunday. And that's all he said. But yeah, so the thing is, how do you affect the timeline? So
right,
interesting concept that one has to look at. And of course,
there's always the paradox that what happens if you go back in time and you see yourself? Will you dissolve, or what happens?
Yeah, what's that? The grandfather paradox. I mean, that's what Al Billick, the guy from the Philadelphia experiment. Yeah, Montauk. Yeah, Philadelphia experiment. I actually met him in 1984, and
oh wow!
Yeah, so he actually said that when they went back, they actually had to get their father to meet their mother so that his brother Cameron and himself could actually be born.
Wow, that's just hard to wrap your mind around that, right?
Yeah, and then had to tell them to send them to these particular colleges and all that stuff to get their education so they could come into the Navy and do it. Yeah, so it was an interesting concept there. Yeah.
Yes. So when I was in Egypt and they were showing us all these hieroglyphs that were basically saying stargates, and he pointed them all out to us. We were several different temples we went to, stargates or a portal or this or that. And actually the name of our guides, Mohammed's, his tour is called Saba Tours, and Saba means Stargate. So he's one of the few Egyptologists that gives tours that's telling the real story about what's going on and the knowledge that they had. It's amazing because we were there and he's pointing out all these hieroglyphs and he's saying, this is what this means. And he's reading this one off the wall and it says, this is the ancient Egyptian name for Atlantis. He spells it right out. And all these other tours are walking right by us.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a clue as to what we were talking about because their tour guide was just giving the standard by the book information that everybody's taught in school.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. So I felt very fortunate that I got to go on the right tour with the right tour guide to learn the right information.
We obviously for people watching, we're broadcasting from Brisbane in Australia, so that's how we do our shows. But in Brisbane here, there's currently a what do you call it? Do you remember some 20, 25 years ago, there was a thing called Wii, and you put this headset on and you could play it against your TV set?
Right.
Yeah. Well, they've this mob called Fever Hub, they've got these big, huge headsets that you put on, full-on sound stereo, and the whole holographic imagery. Yeah.
Right.
And it's called Venture into the Giza Plateau and into Khufu's pyramid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they do them in batches of 20. Every 20 minutes, and there's 12 per 20 minutes. And even with your 12, they just set you off in groups of 2 or 3. You know. Anyway, so you've got to sign all these waivers, you know, because it's a real major plays with your whole sensory perception.
Right.
So when you got the headset on, they say, can you just look to your right and see your other people in your group. And of course, they all come as white ghosts. That's the imagery. And they've got a hula hoop around them so that when you're walking, if you see the ghost coming towards you with the hula hoop, you know you're getting close to bumping into them, you know? And then if you're coming to a pillar or to the wall, they've got, you know how you got concrete reinforcing the grid?
Right.
Well, it's obviously it's vertical and it's red so that you know you're getting close to a wall. So it comes up and gives you that, yeah. So anyway, they tap you on the shoulder and say, okay, you can go now. And of course, the next second, as you step into this big room, up comes the imagery and it shows you the footprints. And you follow the footprints, and the voice says, you go to the cliff, and you'll meet your guide. And then when you get up to this cliff there, next second, the holographic female guide turns up, manifests, and starts talking to you. And then it's giving you the guidance about look to the right. So you turn to the right, and there's the big pyramid there. And you're right, and it gives you the history. And then you walk, and they'll walk with me, and so you walk with this holographic guide, and you've got to stand within the blue lines, and next second you can feel the sensory perception of not only the sound that's in your head, but the big slabs levitate, and you levitate up to the 8th row.
Wow!
And you proceed then to walk through the tunnel into the Grand Gallery, and then as you come to the Grand Gallery and you're looking up, you look around 360 degrees. The imagery is just amazing. So the next second it says, can you just step in between the blue line and step into the next granite slab? And the next second it levitates and takes you up through the Grand Gallery. And you go past the Queen's Chamber, and then you come to the King's Chamber. And just before you get into the King's Chamber, the guide then says to you, look, there's a little passageway to get into the King's Canyon. So you're going to have to crouch and just follow me. And of course, I was with this couple, husband and wife team. And so the guide crouches down and it's going through the little passageway. And that's when I'm thinking, God, I could crouch here, or I could just walk through this imagery. So they crouched, and I just walked straight as normal through the bloody imagery of the actual confines of the slabs to go inside the King's Chamber. That's the mind one. That's really plays with your mind, and you got to just be aware that how you can consciously, shapeshift. So yeah, you go into the King's Chamber. They've got the big esophagus there. And it says, walk up and have a good look into it. So you can look into it. It's a massive room you go into and you have a look. And the next second you can hear this cat. And the cat comes between my bloody legs. And it jumps up. And as it jumps up, they manifest a big pliff. And the cat transforms into this big, huge black panther, leopard, I suppose. And it's got a piece of jewelry around its throat. And it's got a crown on it. And then it says, greetings, I'm the goddess Bast, B-A-S-T, and I'm the keeper of the knowledge. And then it tells the holographic guide to move along. I'll take over. And so now you've got this cat explaining to you all the intricacies of the pyramid and its esoteric knowledge, and says, right, we'll just walk through here. Don't worry, I'll just allow the wall to disappear. And so then you step inside, and then you got this, and the cat then says, we've opened up and hollowed the pyramid for the benefit of, so you can see how we've designed it. It takes you right up inside the pyramid, right to the very top, and then I've opened a little capstone thing on the side. Sorry, not a capstone, but a side panel. You come out, and then next second you're on top of the pyramid, and 360 degrees. You can look over the whole of Cairo, the Nile, and everything.
Wow.
And then it says, we've got Khufu's skyboat about to arrive. You just have to make a decision whether or not you're game to actually walk the gangplank and come onto the skyboat. And then, and because we're going to go into the underworld. So if you want to stop here now, yeah, you can do so. So then the skyboat turns up, and then you walk up the plank and get onto the boat. And then off it goes down into the underworld, and it travels through the underworld and pops up into the Nile. You see where I'm coming from? It's just a really amazing thing.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah. So it's 42 Australian dollars. Yeah, it goes for about 48 minutes. Yeah.
I could understand why they want you to sign a waiver, because you could very easily forget that you're in your living room and you're going to trip over a couch or run into a wall and hurt yourself.
Yeah, but in this case, it's one big commercial space that's been set out, and it's,
okay.
But the way I've got it all triggered out, it's bloody awesome. But yeah, because when you get on the skyboat, it's very easy to sort of think that you're on a normal boat and you can just sit down on the gunnels or on the seats, you know. That's where you're at. But even so, you know, in the King's Chamber, and you're stepping out to go inside it, you've got these big, huge slabs of granite, and there's big gaps between these big slabs of granite. And so, you know, you sort of hop, skip, and jump as you jump on the slab. So, yeah, it's yeah, it is. Anyway, so when it finishes, you actually go into the temple where Khufu's and the priests are doing the embalming. So you can actually see him being embalmed, and then you go in and the rest of his family and all that stuff, and then they say thank you very much for coming, and then as you step out, it's got exit, and you follow in the footsteps, and next second someone touches you on the shoulder, and you think, oh my god,
right.
Yeah. It's
wow, that sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah. So you take your headphones off and the big headset. Oh yeah. So I got to tell you, Dave, I was walking out there and I'm thinking to myself, are we living in a simulation? Are we in a holographic picture here? You know, but like,
I think we are. I think we are in a simulation. Also, I think we're in what's called, one of the physicists calls a synchronous universe, meaning that what we see is like when you're looking at a movie projector is showing like 24 frames per second. And when it goes through the projector, it makes it look like everything is real. Okay, because it's making it, the pictures one by one in sequence project as if it's a real sequence. So it's synchronous. But if we change the flicker rate, we no longer see that reality. If we change the flicker rate, we might be seeing another reality. Okay. And maybe we're in the midst of a change right now, because they're talking about the fact that The sun is being upgraded by energies, and the sun is then downloading those energies to us on Earth. We're being upgraded, and if we're being upgraded, then maybe we're going to change realities. We're going to have a new synchronization. We're going to see something different, completely different than what we're used to.
Well, haven't America and Europe got Project Rainbow or Project Looking Glass, I should say?
Yeah, there is I've heard of that. I've read about it. Don't know if it's true or not, but true. I believe that. So, you know, if light can change us, change things, they've already done studies. There was a Russian scientist who did studies where he took a laser and showed it through a glass full of frog eggs. So the laser bounces through the glass of frog eggs and then continues on and shines onto a glass of salamander eggs. And what happens with that laser going through those eggs, and it hits the DNA, it changes the salamander eggs into frog eggs. Oh,
right.
So that means that just light alone, which is laser light, can change the DNA. It can change, if it can change a frog and a salamander's DNA, it can change our DNA. So if the sun is being upgraded and sending those energies to us, then we're more likely to be changing also. We're being upgraded, and our whole reality might change. We might go to the next density.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, before you came on, and I really appreciate the last minute, it's fantastic, you know, to reach out like that. Now, you mentioned a book that you wanted to show.
Yes. So a friend of mine that I met on in Egypt, his name is Frank Rogala. He just came out with a really interesting book that talks about all kinds of interesting things, everything from science and consciousness and questioning all kinds of paradigms that we thought were true and are not. And if I can make it come up through my phone here.
Cracking Open Reality, yeah? Frank Rogala.
Rogala,
is it? My apologies.
Yes. It just came out on Amazon. And so I just got it today, and I've been thumbing through it, and it's a very interesting, mind-opening read. So if anybody's interested, might want to give it a try. So, yeah, it'd be on Amazon. I don't know if is Amazon Australia and Amazon United States the same, or is it different?
No, we can't buy on Amazon America. So the Australian government came up with this thing that anyone who's selling product to Australia that's over $76,000 per annum has to become registered with the Australian Taxation Office and collect the customs GST.
Oh, okay.
So Amazon America said, no, we're not playing your game, so we're not collecting the 10% GST.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so hence the reason Amazon came to Australia and set up Amazon Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Frank Rogala, did you say?
Rogala, Rogala.
No.
Nothing, no?
Oh, it's kind of a different Amazon. Is it called Saving Civilization? Is that it?
Saving Civilization, Cracking Open Reality Beyond the Mainstream Veil.
Right.
My name is Dylan Shaw, and I'm using Upwork to hire.
Still going to work. That's strange. It's all oh, here we go. We might be here. Nah, not having much luck on that one. That's unfortunate.
Well, maybe other people have luck finding it if they're interested.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Anything else that's happening in Missouri?
That's about all from here. I'm going to have to get going here.
Sure.
Got other things to go after.
Yeah, you got your pendulum out to make sure you're going to the right place.
I'll have to do that. I have to get out my pendulum the next time you call so I know whether or not to answer.
Yeah. Anyway, you've got the World Cup. You now know what soccer is all about.
The World Cup, and watching. I've been watching a little bit of. I'm not a big soccer fan, but when Lionel Messi comes out in Argentina, he is so fascinating to watch. He's just a tremendous player, and so I will watch when he's on.
Yeah, right. Very good. I know it's good. The Dutch are out, and their fans have been in Kansas City, filling up the streets. We've had
Right.
the Scots in Boston, and
Right.
had the Norwegian doing their rowing.
Right.
And the amount of people who have been traveling from overseas to America and then realizing that what they're being told by their media is completely false and fabricated, as your president would say, it's all fake news. And yet, now the people have come to America, they've actually tasted America and its culture, and everybody's loving it. It's pretty fantastic.
That's what I hear. I've seen a few of those, so that's great.
Yeah. I mean, they all seem to have loved Buc-ee's. Was at the service station for fuel.
Right.
Yeah, they're quite impressed with its features. All right, brother. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for stepping up. And for folks, we apologise with Patrick. He'll be on next week. And with Elise just out of action for today only. So, I'd like to thank you very much, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Yeah, that's the one we want. And here we go. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care now.
All right, mate. Thank you. We appreciate that.